Happy Saturday to you all, my good friends out there. Welcome into a draft edition of the Barking Brown Show. I'm solo today, so it's just going to be me and Jacob, Matt Richism13 on Twitter. So check me out over there. Check out the show at Barking Browns 24. Thanks for tuning in. One of our second full-blown just mock draft episode. I'm really excited about this. Use the ESPN mock draft simulator. Just came back out. Very excited about that. Totally different board, totally different simulation. So I was really excited to kind of play around with those and playing around with different simulators in different boards. Just really give you a different idea of some of the scenarios that could play out on draft night, which is less than 2 weeks away. 2 weeks from when I'm recording this, we'll be wrapping up day 3. But, less than that. Hey, if you're checking us out on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up. Helps us out a ton in the algorithms. If you're on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, subscribe to the show, rate it, leave us a review. We're very excited as the channel continues to grow. It's just been a lot of fun, another draft season coming to an end almost, and it's my favorite time of the year. So without further ado, guys, let's get into the mock draft for this week. Where is my slideshow? Here we go. All right, guys. So interesting enough, this mock draft does take into account pick 227 the Browns just acquired by trading Leroy Watson down to Bill Callahan and Brian Callahan in Tennessee, a guy that was brought in for the Browns last year. Really nice developmental guy. Gets the Browns a 7th round pick for a guy that's probably not making the roster. So it's crazy. All right, round 2, pick 54 for me. Keon Coleman, the wide receiver from Florida State. This is an interesting player in a sense that I don't know that he's there at 54. He feels like a guy that the Browns could go up and get if they really want. He's probably one of those guys that you could identify in that scenario. One thing I really like about ESPN's mock draft simulator is that they give you the percentage that this player could be there and the percent he would be at their next pick, which is really cool because it kind of makes you think, oh, okay, so, using their algorithms and all these things in their mind, they believe there's a 46% chance that Keon Coleman's at pick 54 with a 5% chance that he's available for the Browns' next pick, which is pick 85. So if the Browns are going to get the big body Keon Coleman, they've got to get him at pick 54. 6'3", 213 pounds, nice long arms, 32-inch arms. He has a 9.12 relative athletic score. I think a lot of people get caught up on Keon Coleman's 40 time not being like a 4.4, 4.3 guy, but that's not how Keon Coleman works. He had a 38-inch vertical. That's how Keon Coleman works. Only a 3.8% drop rate last year. Reliable, big-bodied, electric, great athlete. His ability to high point, his ball skills and ability to go up and high point is just fantastic. When you're looking at his size, strength, athleticism profile, adding all of those things together, you get a very, very unique and talented player in Keon Coleman. And if you were like, okay, what's Keon Coleman all about? And you go on and you just put him into YouTube, you're going to see highlight reel catches snap after snap. The dude's got big, strong, reliable hands, understands what he needs to do to win against press man coverage, off man coverage, zone coverage, whatever you're throwing at him, has a really high football IQ, big play, explosive play guy. Again, doesn't run a super, super fast 40, but watch the tape. Keon Coleman creates plenty of separation. He has plenty of speed. He his long speed's better than you want to talk about. He is a guy that could fall to the Browns at 54 just because it's a crazy, crazy good wide receiver class. But if you get a Keon Coleman, I think he can take Amari's role down the road. He can be a wide receiver 1. I think Keon Coleman's got fantastic wide receiver 1 upside, just the blend, size, strength, athleticism. You just don't get a lot of people that have that blend. And for that reason, if the Browns get within sniffing range of Keon Coleman, by all means, please make that happen. Round 3, pick 85 back on the board. Here's a guy that I've been balking in the 4th and 5th rounds, being a guy in the top 100s, but he continues to climb up my board, and that's North Carolina linebacker Cedric Gray. The more I watch Cedric Gray, the more I listen and read other draft analysts talk about Cedric Gray, the more I'm like, get Cedric Gray in Cleveland now. 6'1", 234 pounds, good arm length, 32.5 inch, 8.04 relative athletic score. You talk about his struggles missing tackles. He's got like 40, almost 50 missed tackles the last 3 years. But over that time, he also had 365 tackles. So yes, his tackling technique, his ability to wrap up, it really needs some work. But the thing is, he's there. He's got a nose for the football. He's got the athleticism. The 8.04 relative athletic score, I think he looks far more athletic on tape. I think, he's got a 78 coverage grade from PFF last year. That's where I think he probably excels the most. I think he's incredibly explosive, especially in the short area. Speed and explosiveness, he sees what happens, diagnoses it, and explodes to the ball. I think he would just be an absolute great running mate with JOK. Blending the speed and athleticism that the two have together would just be fantastic. Tons of experience, 3-year starter. I think one thing that I was listening to Damian Parson over at the Draft Network, also one of the hosts of Locked On NFL Draft, which is a fantastic podcast. If you're a draft junkie like me, make sure you're checking that out. He talked about his ability to spy athletic quarterbacks because of his fantastic speed and range and athleticism. And you got Lamar Jackson just won another MVP. He's in this league, or in this conference division with the Browns. And you've got Russell Wilson, who's not quite what he was before, but did pretty good with his legs against the Browns this year. So, Joe Burrow's more mobile than you want to give him credit for, and there's plenty of other athletic quarterbacks that can move in the AFC that you're going to have to face if you want to win a Super Bowl. But I just think if you're looking for a dude that has a really nice athletic profile, and if you can just clean up those tackling issues with Cedric Gray, I think he can be a really good linebacker in the league for the next 8 to 10 years. And I think even immediately, maybe you just put him on special teams because of that athleticism, that athletic profile, and he makes an impact there. But if you're feeling like got to get linebacker day 2, I think Cedric Gray should be high up on that list. I just think all the tools that he has, it's all there. Just got to work on some of the fundamentals. Going into pick the 5th round, going day 3, I got Jalen Sundle, the North Dakota State left tackle, 6'5", 300 pounds, long arms, 33-inch arms. I guess they're not long, super long, but more than long enough for an offensive tackle. Really athletic lineman, 9.33 relative athletic score. PFF gave him an 89.2 pass blocking grade and a 78 run blocking grade in this past season. The very interesting thing about Jalen Sundle is you get a lot of players that move from like right tackle to left tackle, or from left guard to left tackle, or some sort of combination of this. He actually was the starting center for 2 years at North Dakota State before moving to left tackle this year. So he's a very, very unique blend of the inside-outside flexibility, as not going from guard to tackle, but center to guard, or center to tackle. I'm sure he could play some guard. If you have some concerns maybe about some of the size, the arm length, some things like that, I don't. I think was plenty good as a tackle this year, but very well could kick in. Could be such a thing where they keep James Hudson around. Maybe he's your swing tackle, and Sundle plays more on the inside this year. I don't know. And this is going to be a jump in competition from a D2 school to the NFL. So he's going to need some time. But his ability to play multiple positions is really important. And you look at the physical traits, you say, hey, this dude's athletic as all get out. Moves really well in the open field. Really understands his assignment. High football IQ, great motor, just will not stop until he is told, hey, man, it's done. It's done. He's just a fantastic athlete, great strong foundation. I really like his footwork. His hands are really inconsistent. That's the biggest thing that you're going to come up with him is like, hey, I don't like some of these hand placement issues. For a guy that has the strength and athleticism profile that he has, I wish his hands were a little bit more active. I wish they were a little bit more violent. His run blocking, there's the hand placement I think kind of leads into some like leverage issues, which leads to some strength issues, which all said and done leads to the issues of him in the run game. So I think that some technical things with leverage and hand placement, and of course, obviously the jump to the next level. But I think you're talking about a dude with inside outside flexibility, a really good athlete, really high football IQ. He's very experienced. I think, it's going to take a big adjustment for him, but I just think, a left tackle, center, interior lineman hybrid with the athletic profile of Sundel will be really nice for the Browns on day 3. All right, to the 6th round we go. I've got Dalen Hooker, the tight end, Holker, not Hooker, my goodness. Dalen Holker, the Colorado State tight end, 6'3", 241 pounds, 33-inch arms, 7.36 relative athletic score. He had a 69.6 receiving grade from PFF this year and a 57.2 run blocking grade. We've all heard the story at this point where he almost got arrested because he was like breaking onto the field for Colorado State with his brothers and just catching balls on the jugs machine, just boom, 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 reps after reps. And just, you're not going to find a guy that's going to work harder. He's not a great route runner at this point, but he's he's really strong, really good contact balance, and really reliable hands. So you're looking at a possession wide receiver or possession tight end. You're looking at a red zone guy, a guy that I think is a willing blocker, not really good at the fundamentals of it, but get him in an NFL strength and conditioning program, get him in here and get him coached up by I think a really good up and coming tight end coach, Tommy Rees. And you could really have something. This guy is willing to put in the work. He got in trouble. He was putting in too much work. But, you're looking for a tight end. The Browns could use a developmental tight end, a 6'3", 240. You've got things to work with there. A decent athlete, possession guy can really benefit from working next to David Njoku. So that's it. Round 6, Dalen Hooker. All right, round 7, pick 227. This is the Browns pick. They got for trading Leroy Watson to the Tennessee Titans. I got Josh Wallace, the Michigan corner, 6 foot, 190 pounds, 31-inch arms. Not a great athlete. He had a 3.9 relative athletic score, but an 84 coverage grade and an 87 run defense grade. You're looking at a physical, he's long, physical, he likes to get in your face, and he's played on the outside. I really like him in run defense. You look at the 87.8, it kind of tells you some things that you want to know. 84 coverage grade, nothing crazy, didn't allow any touchdowns, didn't have any interceptions. His ball skills they're not there. He doesn't make a ton of flashy plays, but you don't notice him a ton. So he's not going to really elevate your defense, but I don't think he's a liability. And like I said, just not a great athlete, but he's big, physical, he's long. I think he could fit in with what they're doing here in Cleveland. All right, the final pick. I'm going to go with Chase McLeland. I know I've been talking about it. I don't think they have room for running back, but at this point, you're getting late into the draft. You're just taking chances on guys. 5'10", 221 pounds, 29-inch arms. I couldn't find a relative athletic score that qualified, so I'm not sure. 84.5 rushing grade this year, 4.9 yards per carry. I think he could just be a fun practice squad guy. He's really patient. I think he has good vision. And the thing that really sticks out to me is his pass protection. I don't know that the Browns, I think Donta Foreman's a pretty good pass protector, but in terms of like Ford and Nyheim Hines, and definitely not Pierre Strong, but they've kind of lacked that kind of thing. So, he could be interesting, could push for, a roster spot if Chubb starts on PUP. He doesn't have great speed. He doesn't really create. He's not much of a, in the open field, not much of a pass catcher in the passing game, but has good vision. He gets what's there. He's not going to create a bunch of extra yardage, not going to break off these monster runs because he doesn't have run away from speed, but he can protect the quarterback in pass situations, and he can get what is there. So learning from the most patient runner I think I've ever seen, Nick Chubb, I think McLeland could end up being a decent player, but in this case, I'm just drafting him for the practice squad. So that's it, guys. That is mock draft 2.0. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you like. Let me know what you hate down in the comments below. We'll be back for another live episode on Tuesday. Again, subscribe if you're on YouTube. Give us a thumbs up. Rate the show if you're on Apple Podcasts and everything. The most valuable thing you can give somebody is some of your time, guys. So thank you so much for giving some of your time to us. Yet again, we'll see you guys again next time. As always,